Welcome to Echo Productions, I'm Silas Willoughby, and today we're taking a look at how to quickly make bad footage look cinematic in any software. So I've got this clip that a client sent in for me to edit and put up on their YouTube channel. And as you can see, it looks really bad. It's oversaturated and has way too much contrast. You often have shots that look like this when you're shooting on a GoPro or a cheaper DSLR in the auto setting. But let's jump right into the video. So like usual, I'm using HitFilm Pro, but you can do all of this in almost any other software. And as you can see, I already have the footage imported and dropped into the timeline. And the first thing I want to do now is basically make the footage into log footage so it's easy to correct. You can do this by dragging on the brightness and contrast effect and the hue saturation effect. Select the brightness contrast effect and drag the contrast down to about -20. Next, go to the hue saturation slider and drag the master saturation down to -10. Now both of these depend a lot on your specific shot. This is just what worked for me. Now that we have it pretty flat already, we can get to work on fixing the color. I like to do this first on this kind of shot because the shot has way too much contrast originally, and I can do as much as I want with the color before I get to the light. To start off with the color, I'm adding a subtle teal and orange LUT by Triune Films. I'll put a link for the ones I use in the description, but I'll also put a link for a decent free one that looks relatively similar to the one I used as well. As you can see, just adding the LUT did a ton for the looks of the video. It actually looks pretty close to finished, but I want to tweak it more. First, let's finish with color. I did this by adding a simple hue saturation effect again, and turning the master up 15, the reds up 5, and the greens up 4. But again, this depends on your shot. This is just what worked for me and is the general technique that you would use. Now let's adjust the light levels and the contrast again by throwing on a curves effect. Since his face is still a little bit too dark, I'm going to start by pulling the shadows up a little bit, by pulling on the bottom of the curves. This improves the dynamic range a lot and allows us to see his face again. Now I want to add a subtle S-curve, pulling the shadows up again a little bit in the middle, and the highlights down a little bit in the middle as well. Now, as you can see, if I turn the curves layer off, just how much it was doing for the grade. And again, like most edits, these depend on your shot, but this is the basic technique. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed this quick video or you learned anything, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to learn more about filmmaking every Monday, make sure to subscribe.